Ethan had worked at Harbor Manufacturing for 11 years. He was quiet, reliable, and always the first to clock in and the last to leave. He didn't talk much about his past or his future, but everyone knew him as the nice guy in maintenance. Ethan was also one of the only black employees at the plant. It hadn't bothered him at first. He was used to being the only one. In school, in interviews, in team meetings where his ideas were repeated louder by someone else and given credit. But lately, something had shifted. It wasn't just the jokes, those just kidding comments laced with stereotypes. It wasn't just being passed over for promotions. It was the way people looked through him like he wasn't even there. Still, Ethan kept showing up. Until one Monday morning, he found a note taped to his locker. It wasn't long, just 3 words. And it broke him. He stared at it for several minutes. The handwriting was jagged, rushed. The words were cruel, a racist slur followed by, "Go home." Ethan felt like his lungs stopped working. For a moment, he stood frozen. Then he quietly peeled the note off, folded it into his jacket pocket, and walked out of the building. No one noticed him leave. 2 days later, Ethan's absence was finally acknowledged when someone realized the loading dock was backed up. Supervisors called him. He didn't answer. It was Rosa, the cafeteria lady, who drove to his house after her shift. She had always liked Ethan. She brought him extra plantains and made sure he had warm food on long nights. When he opened the door, she saw the pain in his eyes before he said a word. He handed her the note. She didn't read it aloud. She didn't need to. She just sat with him in silence and then said, "You're not alone. We're going to fix this." The next morning, Rosa stormed into the manager's office and placed the note on his desk. At first, he hesitated. He said things like, "We can be sure who did it, and let us not make a big deal." Rosa didn't raise her voice. She just told him that if Ethan didn't come back, a lot of other people wouldn't either. She started talking to everyone. She told her story of arriving in the U.S. without English, of being treated like less. Others followed. An older worker from Laos, a young Muslim woman who had been mocked for her hijab. Even a white man named Jim, who admitted he once laughed at those jokes but didn't realize the damage they did. Stories poured out, and so did support. Ethan came back to work a week later. He was nervous, unsure what to expect. When he walked through the door, he was met with something unexpected. Every single locker had a note taped to it. But these were different. They said, "You belong here. We've got your back. No hate in our halls. We stand with Ethan." Some were typed, some handwritten, some decorated with stickers and doodles. One was in Rosa's handwriting. It read, "You're not invisible, you're invaluable." That day, the manager announced new anti-harassment policies, monthly diversity circles, and a promotion for Ethan. He was now in charge of a team. But more importantly, Ethan's silence had been replaced by a voice and a community. Because one hateful note had sparked dozens of loving ones. And a company changed because people stopped being silent. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to our channel. Let's keep telling stories that matter. Your support helps us stand against hate and stand for hope.